We're back in the village of Mickleton, right on the north end of the Cotswolds, to walk the next leg of the Heart of England Way. That's the beautiful Church of St Stephen behind us, where we left the route last time. We're going to be heading on that way. Great to be back out and walking again. We've had a really strong heat wave, so it's been far too hot to take the dogs out, and Danny's had a little bit of an injury, so we've had to take it easy for a couple of weeks. So we're really glad to have a break in the storms for a change, and be back out on the Heart of England Way. As we come through the gate, there we are, Cotswold Hills, the northern edge. We're just following this path up along the edge of this crop field. We've got a bit of a climb ahead of us as we head uphill. Now we'll actually be coming back down that bridleway there, but to stay on the Heart of England Way, we're going this way. I've just put Danny on his lead because I can hear sheep, so I think they might be in the next field. So I will not film us trying to negotiate this bridge with two dogs. What a beautiful cedar of Lebanon tree. So we're gradually heading uphill. It's quite a well-marked path. Beautiful trees. Whew. What a fabulous bench as you come up the steps from Bakers Hill Road. How well that little bear is carved. Whew. Luckily, I'm getting towed uphill by a brace of spaniels. It's a bit overgrown in places, so slightly slow progress, and slightly slippy as well, where we've just had some rain in the last 2 days after that really dry hot spell. And this is one of the most famous features of Bakers Hill Wood, is this carving here of a Belgian soldier, and you can't make out the initials anymore, and other people have added initials over time. I'll put the information post up as well. I mean, you can imagine these woods being a source of escape for soldiers who were injured and who were being treated down in Mickleton. It's beautiful woods. It's very quiet, it's very peaceful, and I've tried to capture some of the trees that are just magnificent on the edge of the escarpment. Now, interestingly, the footpath is sort of marked heading that way, back towards sort of Mickleton, but the Heart of England Way actually goes around the back of this sort of shed and up on here. There's hills on both sides. I haven't seen one of those for a bit, the Monarch's Way. I don't know if we've been on all along. I'm not sure at which point the Monarch's Way leaves the Heart of England Way or vice versa. So the track we've been walking along is just going to join with Furze Lane here. And as you can see, well signposted. Oh, Danny, don't pull. Monarch's Way, Heart of England Way. And we're going to go down there, not for very long I don't think, along that lane, but I'll just put Bailey back on the lead as well, in case of vehicles. So now we're going to turn left down the driveway towards the Grade 2 listed, at least I think it's Grade 2 listed, Mickleton Hills Farm. Beautiful avenue of trees. This beautiful property is a wedding venue, and there is one going on right now. And just over there, through those trees, is the Mickleton Railway Tunnel, which was the scene, dog stop pulling, which was the scene of the last civilian battle, when I think it was Brunel and one of his contractors had a disagreement about how the construction was going and who had the rights to it, etc. And it's this point where we're going to leave the Heart of England Way, which does carry on down there. We are going to start our return leg by heading that way. Go. I don't know if camera's picking up the sea of purple from the thistle flowers. This is a bit of set aside, just bordering this small woodland to our right. Can't see it very well on camera, but there is a path. I'm hoping this strip that's been mown is not lulling me into a false sense of security, because this makes for much easier walking. It's a little bit difficult to tell. I think we cross the brook again here and go back over this bridge. I'll find out in a minute if it's the wrong way. So that's good, it was the right way. Sort of turning a little bit left over that bridge. It's a lot of set aside here. If I do that, you can see behind me a lot of sort of unused grass just left for, well, you could say it's left for wildflowers, but there's not masses of wildflowers apart from the thistle flowers, and it's mainly sort of scrubby grass, but it's bound to be good for some forms of wildlife anyway. Couple of curious ponies. I'm just the track goes straight through the fields there, and then we just cross a lane just sort of there, and I think go past that larger agricultural barn. Although it's humid, having had the rain, it's actually not as bad as it could be, and nothing like the 30 odd degrees we were having last weekend, which, as you can imagine, the dogs did not appreciate. It's really nice to be back out in the countryside, and it's nice having some intermittent puddles for the dogs to jump in and out of. Now, just as I was thinking this was a nice easy route to navigate, I carried on up that track and then realised I was going wrong. The path is here somewhere, and I thought, oh, there's no marks, you know, no signpost, but actually you can't, I don't know if you can see it, but there on that oak tree is the footpath sign. It's just very difficult to spot. I have a feeling this is going to be overgrown. Oh no. So we're now walking through this lovely little Cotswold village, Hidcote Boyce. So it's quite a fabulous looking hare outside this beautiful cottage. This is a good dog watering hole. Well, the Cotswolds made its money from wool originally, and there's certainly no shortage of sheep round here. We're heading that way. It's quite a dramatic sky above that solitary tree. And we're just approaching Hidcote, which is a National Trust property, which has very famous arts and craft inspired gardens. I don't know how much we'll get to see on our path, but hopefully we might get a glimpse of them. I mean, this couldn't be more Cotswold village if it tried. A duck pond with actual ducks. Thatch roofs. This beautiful tree. I don't think the camera is quite doing justice to because of the light behind it. And that is the old forge. What a beautiful building. Now, not surprising with the National Trust Gardens being presumably just the other side of that wall. There's quite a few people sort of wandering around the village. And that's just the exit. This is about the closest we're going to get to the gardens themselves. This sort of woodland path. But I might be able to spin the camera around. So that's the gardens themselves through there. Yeah, you probably can't see very much on the camera. Right, boys, we are going that way and then we're going to take a left again. If I peer over this wall, that's where we're heading, down there. This must be such a good pasture for livestock because it's so sheltered, this sort of natural valley with the trees either side. It's obviously a well-walked footpath because this would be the direct route, I suppose, from Mickleton up to come to see the gardens at Hidcote. Look at these views. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can make it out on the camera, but I think those are the Malverns over there. I'm pretty certain they are. Isn't this lovely? And what a lovely walk this has been. We're just on the return section that we walked across this morning, or not this morning, earlier this afternoon, back to Mickleton. You can sort of see the hills and the ominous looking skyline behind me. It's been quite humid, quite close, particularly the longer the walk's gone on, as we're due thunderstorms tonight. But it's been a lovely walk, highly recommend it. It's not too far, I think it's like 6 miles or something. You can stop and have a look around the gardens at Hidcote, and also have a drink and maybe stay over in Mickleton when you return. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time.